The COVID pandemic has also put Oklahoma's VA clinics and hospitals under additional stress. But there are signs that this often maligned federal agency is doing a much better job of providing quality health care to our nation's veterans. We have a two-part report for you tonight, beginning with Jason Doyle's look at how CARES Act funding is helping keep hundreds of Oklahoma veterans in their homes.
Goodwill Industries of Central Oklahoma already had a mission to get homeless veterans off the street through its Supportive Services for Veteran Families program, or SSVF. An $830,000 grant from the CARES Act has accelerated that mission.
The primary goal is not only to get them off the street and get them rapidly rehoused in either a hotel or permanent housing such as an apartment, but it's also a consideration for the health and safety of not only our veterans, but just the common community as well.
U.S. Air Force veteran Nick Beasley is thankful the program found him in time.
SSVF contacted me, went out of their way and contacted me and told me they could help me and they would help me to get a place to live, and that was just such a blessing, just unbelievable blessing.
Beasley lives on oil lease royalties, and because of the downturn in prices, he found himself battling homelessness while trying to remain clean and sober.
I was overcome with depression and from being an alcoholic and a drug addict. I was living in a hotel, been living in a hotel for 2 years. I eventually I live off of royalties is what I live off of, and the oil market hit bottom, had no place to go.
Goodwill is looking to house 100 veterans like Beasley in 30 days with the CARES Act funding. During a normal year, the agency usually provides services to 400 homeless veterans.
That's the goal. We're anxious and we're hopeful that we can meet it and or exceed it, but that's definitely something that we really want to do, is just help get some of the homeless veterans and those experiencing homelessness off the streets and into safe shelter so that they can start taking care of themselves and start working towards the role of actually becoming permanently housed in an apartment or something like that of their own.
Dan Strawn with the Homeless Alliance says that's a lofty but worthy goal.
And boy, they set themselves a giant goal. 100 veterans housed in a month. I mean, do the math. That's 3 a day, plus a little. So, man, you got to give it up to them for that.
He adds Goodwill is catching the veterans who fall through the safety net provided by the Veterans Administration.
They can serve veterans that the VA can't normally serve. That said, they can't do it all. So the way we have done stand downs in the past is to bring a whole bunch of agencies together, and Goodwill is trying to do that on almost sort of a virtual basis.
We do have an outreach team that goes out into a lot of community encampments, like known places where veterans and other people experiencing homelessness do actually congregate, and they reach out to those people, give them resources, tell them about the program, enroll them in the program. And then we also have community partners such as the VA and Legal Aid and different other community partners that we work with that will directly send people to us.
By focusing on veterans, Goodwill is helping to free up other community resources for the homeless.
If we are able to put a veteran in a hotel or into an apartment, that opens up another bed in a shelter that another non-veteran who doesn't have such resources can possibly use to maintain their health and safety as well.
She adds the SSVF program tries to set the homeless veterans they serve on a stable path.
The first step is typically going to be to get them in a hotel, and then after that we work with our housing navigator, who is one of our subcontractors, to help locate them a house and an apartment that will work for them and their needs and their situation.
Beasley is trying to make the best of the opportunity the SSVF program is giving him.
I've gone ahead and filled out an application for an apartment, and I'm supposed to hear from them today whether they accept it or not.
Strawn says many nonprofits in Central Oklahoma have focused on housing veterans who are homeless or nearly homeless, and it has made a difference.
About 10% of Oklahoma City's homeless population is veterans, which is not a good thing, but across the country, most cities our size and larger see about 20% of their homeless population being veterans.
Beasley says knowing he has a secure place to stay during these times has really helped him.
My spirit's uplifted. I was, absent from my kids for over 2 years and my grandchildren, and they've all come back to me, and they know that I'm serious about my sobriety and staying clean. And that's a lot of help from SSVF, that very concerned about you, genuinely concerned, let me say.
Jason Doyle, the Oklahoma News Report.